All right, this is the next quiz review. This quiz is on 3 topics: margin of error, standard deviation, and geometric probability. I have 1 page on each topic. The first page is on margin of error. So number 1 says students at a high school were polled, and about 63% said they were interested in attending the school's musical, and the margin of error was 4%. What percentage range could be expected with this particular margin of error? So what you're going to do is you're going to take 63%, you're going to subtract the margin of error, and then you're going to take 63%, and you're going to add the margin of error. So 63 minus 4 gives you 59%. 2. And then 63 plus 4 gives you 67%. Okay, so that is the percentage range that you can reasonably expect to attend the musical. Part B, if there are 730 students in the school, about how many can you expect to attend? So what you're going to do is you're going to take 730 and you're going to multiply it by 59%, but you have to turn that to a decimal, so you have to do 59 divided by 100, and you get 0.59. And you do 730 times 0.59. That's going to give you 430.7. And then we're going to take 730 and you're going to multiply it by 67%. Okay, so again, the 2 answers from part A. And that's going to give you 489.1. So I'll just round both of those for my final answer. I'll say about 431 to 489 students. That's how many you expect to attend. Number 2, same thing. Students at a high school were polled, and about 80% said they were interested in attending the school's basketball game. This time the margin of error is 5%. So you're going to subtract 5% from 80, and then you're going to add 5% to 80. So 80 minus 5 is 75%. And 80 plus 5 is 85%. So you expect 75% to 85% of the students to attend. And in part B, if there's 1,320 students at the school, how many actually do you expect? So you take 1,320 and you multiply it by 75%, turn that to a decimal by dividing by 100. So 1,320 times 0.75, that equals 990. And then do 1,320 times 0.85. And that'll equal 1,122. That's a lot of people. About 990 to 1,122. This is just an approximation, remember. So that's the amount you can reasonably expect to attend the football game. Okay, the next problem talks about standard deviation. Joe received the following quiz grades in geometry class. Find the standard deviation of his grades. So step 1 is you're going to find the mean or the average. So add up all those grades and divide by 5 because it's 5 quiz grades. 82 plus 72 plus 89 plus 95 plus 77. That's all going to be divided by 5 because it's 5 quizzes. When you add up all his grades, he has earned 415 points. Divided by 5 quizzes gives Joe an 83 average. Not bad. Now the next step, what you do is you take the average and you subtract that from all 5 of his quiz grades. Okay, so again, his quiz grades are 82, 72, 89, 95, and 77. You're going to subtract the average, which we just established was 83, from each of those quiz grades. Minus 83, minus 83, minus 83, minus 83, minus 83. It's going to give us -1. Then we have -11. Then we have 6. Then we have 12. Then we have -6. Now what you do now is you're going to square all those numbers. You're going to square all of them. Okay? Squared, 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 squared. Let's see what we got. We're going to get 1, 121, 36, and these are all positive because when you square negative, it's positive. 144, and then 36. Now what you're going to do is you're going to add up all 5 of these numbers. You're going to add up all 5 of those numbers. 1 plus 121 plus 36 plus 144 plus 36 gives you 338. The next step is we take that number, 338, and we divide it by the total number of values that we have. So in this case, we have 5 quiz grades, remember. So I'm going to do 338 divided by 5. I'm not going to round yet. I'm just going to say that equals exactly 67.6. And the last step is we take the square root of that number. That's called the variance, by the way. Let's take the square root of that number. Let's say square root of 67.6. I'm just going to round it. I'll do 2 decimal points. I'll say it's approximately 8.22. Okay, so that's the answer. That's the standard deviation. The standard deviation of Joe's quiz grades is 8.22. Okay. And the last page talks about geometric probability. We have a big rectangle, and then we have a circle inside that rectangle, and we have a triangle inside that rectangle. Suppose you pick a point randomly inside the rectangle. Find each of the following to the nearest hundredth. Find the probability that the point is in the circle. So we're going to do the area of a circle divided by the area of the entire rectangle. The area of the circle is pi times radius squared, so pi times 5 squared. Divided by the area of the entire rectangle, which is base times height, or length times width, 33 times 24. That's going to give you 25 pi divided by 792. It's going to be approximately 0.10. It asked you for a decimal to nearest hundredth, so that's nearest hundredth. Suppose I asked you for a percentage. Let's do a percentage too. As a percentage, that would be 10%. Part B, find the probability that the point is in the triangle. So we're going to do the area of a triangle divided by the area of the entire rectangle. For a triangle, the formula is 1/2 times base times height. So in this case, 1/2 times 14 times 6. One half times 14 times 6, and it's going to be divided by the area of the rectangle, the same thing as part A, 33 times 24. It's going to equal 42 over 792. As a decimal, rounded to the nearest hundredth, it says, that is 0.05. And I'm also going to put it as a percent, just why not? That's about 5%. The drawings are not perfectly drawn to scale, by the way, in case you have not noticed. Part C, find the probability that the point is in the circle or in the triangle. So what you're going to do is you're going to add up your answers from part A and part B. So 0.10 plus 0.05 equals 0.15. And again, I'm just going to put them as a percentage again. Why not? That's about 15%. Part D, what's the probability that the point is not in the circle and not in the triangle? So what you're going to do is you're going to do 1 minus the answer from part C, because part C and part D are opposites, they're inverses. They add up to 100% or they add up to 1. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 minus 0.15. It equals 0.85. Again, let's put it as a percentage. Let's say 85%. Notice how part C and part D, these add up to 100%. The percentages and the decimals add up to 1. All right, and that's the end of that. That was the review for the quiz. It was on margin of error, standard deviation, and geometric probability.